Hi, I'm Dean with Old English Outfitters, and today we're going to be reviewing the brand new Smith Wesson Response carbine. We just got these in. As of when we were making this video, it's a few days before the launch date, but we have had it for a week or so, and we've been shooting it and testing it, suppressed and unsuppressed, and it has been performing very well. So let's go over the features real quick. It is, as most are, a direct blowback PCC, 9mm, 16.5-inch barrel, 1 in 10 twist. Very lightweight polymer construction. In fact, most of this gun is polymer. So from the back, you do have a standard AR stock and buffer tube. This does house the spring assembly for the direct blowback, so there is a spring in there, unlike some PCCs that are internal to the receiver. And it will take any AR stock, so anything you want you can put right onto this buffer tube. Standard AR castle nut and standard AR end plate. So if you wanted to run a QD end plate and a QD sling mount, you can do that, very similar to any AR you would run. It does have Smith Wesson's pistol grip, the one that looks like their M&P handguns. However, it's a standard AR grip, so you can put any AR grip you want onto the pistol grip. Standard single side AR safety also appears to be parts compatible with AR safeties. We did not take this gun down to studs, but if you take the upper off and look down into the lower, it really appears as if the safety and the trigger are AR parts, meaning you could put pretty much any trigger or safety you want in them, as long as after install you test for reliability. We did not try to put any aftermarket parts in this gun, so try at your own risk. Also, the bolt catch appears to be a standard AR part. The reinforcements on either side are steel, it would appear. So you drift a roll pin in, same as you would an AR. A lot of this gun is AR parts compatible. If you take the bolt assembly out, it looks very similar to the FPC bolt. There's a little bit less going on with it as far as small parts installed and whatnot, but it looks very similar finishing-wise to the FPC bolt. The rail is entirely polymer, and it is free-floated. And then the barrel is, as we said, 16.5 inches, 1 in 10 twist, and does come threaded 1/2x28. We shot pretty much every round through this gun suppressed just to see how much blowback we would get, how much it would function, because some PCCs you get a lot of not only gas, but particulate in the face from the direct blowback system. Overall feel of this gun, it is exceptionally lightweight and handy, which I think is what they were trying to do with this. We actually did shoot it offhand as you would a pistol without any trouble at all, which is pretty impressive for something that is a 16-inch barrel with a suppressor. Any other gun, you get a 16-inch barrel and a suppressor, that thing's going to want to dip so bad, you're going to have to really strain to hold it in a pistol grip. Not that you would ever do that, of course, but just for testing's sake. Very accurate gun, no trouble making shots out at 100. We did not push it to 150, but I would say really 100 yards and in is going to be the effective range of this gun anyhow. You can push 9mm farther than that, but why would you? If this is all you got, I understand, but 100 yards and in is kind of where I would say effective range is, and it performed very well inside of that range. The trigger that Smith & Wesson gives you is just a very flat, single-stage trigger. I believe it is the same trigger that comes in their volunteer rifle series, and it feels just the same. Not heavy, but not super light either. Has a little bit of creep, but overall, a very serviceable AR trigger. Better than your stock kind of A2 trigger that you see in a lot of your basic ARs you get off the shelf. We did mount a Holosun SCRS. This was kind of intended for PCCs and subguns and things of that nature. It worked very well. A few negatives before we get to the overall positives. So I really have two major complaints. First is the charging handle. So while you would look at this charging handle and think, wow, that's a big, nice, comfortable, ambi charging handle, it is not. The latch is only for right-hand operation. So if you start yanking on this side over here, nothing's going to happen. It's latched in place. It has no way to disconnect your catch that hangs onto your upper receiver. So all you have is a big snag point on the ejection port side of the rifle. There's not really any way to manipulate it unless you're just going to do the old school two-finger. Most people are running index finger and thumb. So we did not test to see if this is compatible with any AR charging handle. It may be proprietary. That is something that we can test out at a later date, and I'm sure we can roll in some B-roll of if it worked or not. Now, the other complaint I have is the handguard. Now, the handguard itself works great. It's made out of good, I'm guessing, fiberglass reinforced polymer. No flex to it really. Really dissipates the heat a lot. We dumped a lot of rounds through this gun in quick succession, and even right at the barrel nut, it was warm to the touch, but not by any means too hot. The main complaint I have is these fillers. So if you look about halfway down the rail, there is faux M-LOK slots that are filled in with polymer, and that is not anything you can remove. It is integral to the rail, whereas everything else is an exposed M-LOK slot. I'm sure they did that for rigidity, so that there is no flex to the rail if you grab it out at the end and try to move it, which would make sense. However, that is exactly where almost every human being on the planet would try to attach a vertical grip, or an angle grip, or anything. Is going to be about halfway down the rail. So, that is not usable. And I probably would not try to remove those sections, be it with a mill or with the Dremel or anything. I wager to say you have a good chance of compromising the entire rail. So you're kind of hosed. You either have to go way back, old school, like a broom handle, or way forward. Kind of gets in the way of you customizing the rifle and adding attachments to it. Now, pretty much everything else about this gun is positive. As I said, very lightweight, very handy. Does not weigh you down. It feels easy to pick up. Shoulder just feels very good in the hand. The accuracy is a very accurate gun. Like I said, 100 yards and in, this gun just wants to hit whatever you want it to. One of those guns that feels good to shoot, feels like it's more accurate than you are. Has to do with the overall construction, the trigger, the combination of that, and a good accurate barrel, but it's very accurate. As far as the overall function, it was 100% reliable with subs, supers, everything we shot through it. The AR parts compatibility is awesome. You have a lot more room to make this gun yours. Put different things on it so you're not stuck with the bare bones rifle, like the FPC. The FPC is a great gun. However, you can't do nothing to that gun. You can add an optic, some sights, maybe a vertical grip, a light if you want it, but the trigger is what you get. If you don't like it, tough nuts. Same with the stock. There's not really anything you can do to that. Whereas this is a lot more customizable to your particular self. The recoil of the gun was also very nice. On a lot of PCCs, the bolt mass, because it is direct blowback, is going to lend itself to even more recoil than your standard AR in 5.56. I'm not sure what the mass of this bolt is, but it was very soft shooting. The final positive is that it does come with a Glock magwell. Now, Smith Wesson makes excellent magazines. They are all steel, and they are available. They're not too expensive. A lot of people have Smith Wesson M&Ps, and those mags will fit. It will take the 15 rounds and up. Can't put any of the shorter ones in, but the same goes for the Glock mags. It'll take a 19 mag, a 17 round mag, or one of those 33 round stick mags if you really want. A couple kind of application things. Why would you want to buy this? Number one, you're just looking for a good PCC. The price point is reasonable on this. It is reliable, it has a good feed ramp, and it's customizable. So if you just want a 9mm PCC, it's a pretty good option to start. Number two, you're looking for kind of a service rifle or a fighting rifle for somebody who's not a big fan of recoil. This is very soft shooting. The ammo is cheap. This would be a great option if you wanted to get a rifle for your wife or your child and teach them AR controls or even AR-10 controls, right? But in a very soft shooting caliber. So be a good option there. Then the final option would be as a training rifle. Okay, because this is AR parts compatible, it has a free float M-LOK rail. It would be very easy to get one of these and configure it exactly like your AR-15, your AR of choice. This would probably be the most expensive option, but if you have the money to do it, same optic or similar, same vertical grip or similar, because you can't really put it where you have it on your other gun. Same trigger, same stock, same sling setup, and now you have a clone of your rifle that you can then let somebody else use, but also you can train with, right? Train the controls, train the manipulations, train getting it to shoulder in a caliber that is much more cost-effective to shoot. Overall, this is an excellent gun. Very excited to see, once again, companies innovating and coming out with new things at an affordable price point for you, the customer. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw, please like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. In addition, we do have an Instagram, @OEOutfitters. Go over there, check it out, and if you like it, please give us a follow. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.